TV News international security expert, Jeanne Meserve. Jeanne, good to see you. Appreciate your time on this Friday.
Certainly.
Where does the investigation go from here now?
The big question, of course, is motivation. Why did he do this? We don't know an awful lot about this 22-year-old man who's been taken into custody. We've heard from law enforcement that he allegedly did confess to this crime to a family member who then took it to somebody in law enforcement, and that's how he was nabbed. But what led him to this? That's what we don't know. As you mentioned, there were these engravings reportedly on some of the ammunition and casings that may give some indication that he had anti-fascist ideology. There also have been reports that he had had conversations in recent times with family members about Charlie Kirk and about his appearance at Utah State, indicating that he disagreed with him and his point of view. But they're going to be delving more into not only those face-to-face communications he might have had with family members and friends, but also into his online footprint. Had he been communicating with others with similar ideologies? Were there certain websites that he seemed to visit that perhaps incited him and encouraged him to take this course of action? That's the key thing. In addition, they're also going to continue to look for physical evidence that links him to the crime. That will indeed make it easier for them to make the court case against this individual.
We know that Charlie Kirk, Jeanne, was very controversial, got a lot of people angry. Other people, of course, supported him, and he was instrumental in helping to galvanize right-wing young people to help re-elect President Trump last year. What does this story say to you about the issue of political violence in the United States right now?
Well, clearly it's escalating. And I will say that this particular action, because it was targeting someone who is not a politician in the formal sense of the word, strikes me as being a particularly striking turning point in the evolution. But look, there's been a build-up to this. We had most recently the shootings of a Minnesota state lawmaker and her husband in their homes not long ago. You had 2 attempts against President Trump's life. You had someone trying to burn down the house of the Pennsylvania governor. You had kidnapping attempts against the Michigan governor. It's been building. And what you heard today, interestingly, was a split screen. You had on one hand the governor of the state of Utah saying, take down the temperature, take the rage out of politics, put down your phones, and let's have civilized conversations. And yet from other parts of the spectrum, you're hearing people fan the flames. I would cite specifically the president, who talked about the radical leftists and their rhetoric and their actions. In fact, we know that there's been violent rhetoric and action from both ends of the political spectrum. Both are involved in this. And with social media inciting and inflaming passions, it's the off-ramp's going to be hard to find.
Jeanne, great to see you, and I appreciate you taking the time for us on this one today here at CTV News.
Certainly.
Jeanne.